you have a, I don't know what we call it, a green jumpsuit, a jail uniform on. Are you currently incarcerated?
Yes, sir.
Where are you incarcerated at?
Gwinnett County Jail.
And where are you normally incarcerated at?
Johnson State Prison.
Okay. Now, you're here at Gwinnett County Jail simply to appear here and testify?
Yes, sir.
All right. What are you in prison for?
Burglary, fleeing and eluding, and aggravated assault.
Okay. Was there an escape charge as well at
Yes.
some point?
Yes, there was an escape in 2019.
All right. And how long have you been in prison?
Since 2015.
Okay. Now, I want to ask you, last year, were you incarcerated at the Gwinnett County Detention Center?
Yes, sir.
And at that time, did you have the pending charges that you talked about now that you've been convicted of?
I had an escape charge that I was waiting to go to court for.
Yes, sir. At that time, did you have an opportunity to meet and talk with the defendant, Miles Bryant?
Yes.
And just for those of us who don't understand, how is it that you guys were, that you ended up seeing him there?
I was in J-Pod as a worker where he was housed at.
Okay. So what does a worker do normally?
Pass out trays, anything to do with any kind of help for the dorm, clean the dorm, pass out trays, pass out jumpsuits.
Okay. So the meals, clothing, and stuff like that, you assist in kind of distributing that?
Yes, sir.
When you would go to J-Pod in order to work and do those functions, did you have an opportunity to speak with the defendant?
I lived inside J-Pod.
Okay, so you were in J-Pod as well.
Yeah.
Did you have occasion to talk to the defendant?
Yes.
Did you get to know him?
I wouldn't say I got to know him, but I mean, I talked to him.
Okay. How regularly would you talk to him?
Every day.
All right. And before we get into the stuff that we're going to talk about, just generally, what kind of stuff would y'all talk about?
Anything, sports, what we did on the street, what we're going to do whenever we get out, if we get out.
Very good. I want to take you back to a couple specific conversations that you, and ask if you had these with the defendant. Did you ever talk to the defendant about his case?
Not much, but it was brought up every once in a while.
Understood. Did you know what he was charged with?
Yeah.
All right. And at the time when he was there, did you know he was a police officer?
Yeah, not at first, but eventually there was a few of us that found out he was a police officer.
Did you know he was in the National Guard at the time?
I knew he was National Guard before I found out he was a police officer.
Okay. I want to talk to you about, tell the jury in what a discovery pack is.
Evidence about what you did in your case, what the state has against you.
And when you're incarcerated, at some point in your case, does your lawyer normally bring you or turn over to you what
Yeah.
you guys would refer to as a discovery pack, the evidence in your case?
Yes.
All right. And was there a time when the defendant received his discovery pack, the evidence in his case?
Yes.
All right. And can you tell us, did you have any conversations with him about that?
Yeah. It was a couple days after. It was a couple days after he got his discovery pack. He went in his cell and read it, come back out, and he let us know that he had just got his discovery pack.
Okay. And what conversation did you have with him about some of the details of what was contained in the discovery?
After a few days, after he read it, looked over it, he come back out and he said, "Well, I don't think I'm not going to get charged for this. They ain't got nothing against me. There's no. It says right here plain. He says it says right here plain. There's no blood, no semen, no nothing. They can't. They ain't got nothing against me."
So did he indicate to you that he was not going to be linked to the young girl's body because there was no blood or semen on her?
Yes.
Is that what he said?
He said there's no way this case can be put on me It doesn't show that I was anywhere around her. It doesn't show me no blood, no semen, no nothing.
Okay. At some point, did the defendant talk to you about, at the time that you were at the Gwinnett County Detention Center, had you been to prison before?
Yes, I was in prison at the time.
Okay.
I was just coming back from court.
But you were just back in Gwinnett County to handle that case?
Right.
Did he ever talk to you about what prison was like?
Everybody's never been that has the possibility of going, they're always going to ask that question.
Okay. What specifically did he ask you?
He said, when and if I ever get charged, or when and if I have to go to prison, what is it like? And I told him.
Okay. And y'all, was that a one-time thing, or did he talk to you, or ask you other times about what it was like?
It got brought up more than once.
Okay. Obviously, at some point, I'm sure everybody kind of wonders what might happen to them with their case. Was there ever a time that the defendant talked to you about the death penalty?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. I don't know how discussions about the death penalty, when this is not a death penalty case, are relevant.
His answer will be very relevant, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to give state
Your
latitude.
Honor, I have not received any statements about anything involving a death penalty.
Your Honor, Mr. Jones has been on the witness list. Ms. Drake has known about him. He's been at the Gwinnett County Detention Center. I can't control whether she interviews him or not, but
But he still has to turn over any statements of my client.
I have to turn over written statements of her client. There's nothing written, Judge.
I'm going to overrule the objection.
Did you ever have a conversation with him where the defendant brought up the death penalty?
There was a conversation brought up one time. He said, man, someone could get the death penalty for something like this. I said, no, you gotta do something more brutal than that. And he said, well, so far they only got me charged with this one.
Okay.
He said, so far I'm only charged with one.
Okay.
I don't think killing one person I don't think somebody doing something, you're gonna get no death penalty for something like that.
I understand. How long do you think that you were in the same pod with the defendant?
Maybe a year? No, about 9 months.
Okay. And throughout that time, I know you've talked to us about a few different conversations. Well, in total, did you talk to him often about his case, or were those kind of some of the exceptions?
Maybe 7 or 8 times we talked about his case. It's not something like somebody wants to talk about every day.
Understood. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Ms. Drake?
Yes. Good afternoon, sir. I just want to ask you a few questions.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what is J-pod? What makes that different from all other pods?
Mental health.
Isn't it sometimes where people go when they're having issues with them?
What do you mean?
Why were you in J-pod?
I'm fine. I was just there. I was an inmate worker, and since I have an active escape on me, there's only certain places they can work me. J-pod, I can't work in the kitchen because I guess I got too many accesses to escape again, I guess.
And J-pod is one of those where pretty much everybody stays in their cell and you can come out usually just one at a time, right?
Yes. PCs come out by themselves. Suicides come out one at a time, maybe 2 or 3 at a time sometimes.
Okay, so just one at a time if they're in PC, that's protective custody?
Yeah.
And these conversations happened with other people being around?
Yeah. Through the door, I was able to talk to people through the door. It would have to do a door on your rec yard.
Okay. Now, you mentioned a burglary. What county is that out of?
Gwinnett. For myself, burglary?
Yes.
I'm just down, the burglary's already done. I've done the time for that. I'm just doing the probation.
Okay, probation on burglary?
Yeah.
And you said it was normal for people that are potentially facing prison to ask about how prison is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there was nothing unusual about that. When did you speak to the DA's office?
Just a couple of days ago. Oh, the first time?
Yes.
Months ago.
Did you reach out to them or did they reach out to you?
Me to them.
Do you remember when specifically? Was it before you went to court or after you went to court? For your charges here.
No, after I went to court.
And we're going to talk about, but on your escape charge that you've already been sentenced on, you've already filed one motion to reconsider that sentence and it was denied, correct?
Right.
Your Honor, at this point, I would like to tender Your Honor, I would like to tender into evidence certified copies of some of the prior convictions from our clerk's office and also White County. Defendant's Exhibit 1 is the sentence for Mr. Jones. I lost my glasses again. I'm bad from getting old. Defendant's Exhibit 1 is a sentence for Mr. Jones, 12B 3337-3, where he was sentenced on 1 count of burglary, 1 count of theft by taking, second burglary, possession of a firearm or knife was dismissed, and 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property, a third burglary, a second theft by receiving stolen property, and 1 charge of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. That's your case that you had your probation revoked on recently. Is that a correct statement,
Yes, ma'am.
sir? Defendant's Exhibit 2 is 20B-00847-3, which charges him with 1 count of escape, which you got 2 years for. Is that correct?
5 to 2, yeah.
Okay. And the escape, I'm assuming, if you look at the sentences, you were supposed to do work release. Is that where you escaped from?
Yes, ma'am.
That's basically you just didn't go back.
Yeah.
How long were you out, I guess?
After I didn't go back,
Yes, before you got caught.
5 months.
Okay. Defendant's Exhibit 3 is from White County, Georgia. That is 2019 CR 455. 1 count of criminal attempt to commit an escape was dismissed, and interference with government property was guilty. That is you, correct?
Yes.
And Defendant's Exhibit 4, again from White County, is 2019 CR 454, where these charges were dismissed: theft by taking, possession of methamphetamine, interference with government property, fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer ×2, reckless driving and speeding. And sir, did you in fact enter a guilty plea to aggravated assault on a police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that part of the sentence that you're currently serving? Or do you know?
Yeah. I think I maxed out on that.
Okay.
I think I maxed out on that. I think I'm only serving my, I'm only serving my 522 right now.
So you're only serving the escape charge?
I max out May 5th, 2025.
Okay.
I think, I don't know if the other charges are still going yet. I don't know.
Now that, that's the only sentence that you're serving, Your Honor, may I approach just to place these up?
Are you tendering those?
Yes, I am
Yes.
doing those.
Mr. Gelfen?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Defense Exhibit 1, 2, 3, and 4 are admitted without objection.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase this question. Have you developed an opinion that you're going to receive some help in trying to get some consideration on that served to sentence?
No, ain't nobody gonna help me.
Okay, so you did not tell my client that now that Mr. Delphine is no longer in the DA's office, that he could help you get that sentence reduced?
No, Mr. Delphine he's never told me he could help me or anything.
Did you tell my client that?
No.
Okay, that's all I have, thank you.
Can you redirect?
Just to confirm that, we've talked twice before.
Yes, sir.
You've never asked for me to do anything for you. I've never offered to help you out in any way with any of your cases.
Right.
Have I?
No.
Okay. You're here to testify because it's the right thing to do?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Drake?
Oh, nothing else, thank you.
Okay. May we release this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.